I hope everyone can hear me. Sorry about that. I really don't know what's going on with my OBS. Like, I start to stream on YouTube, and when I start to stream in my OBS, it literally starts a whole new stream. So, yeah, sorry about that. So I deleted that other one. But anyway, firstly, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. You need to listen to me at your own risk. We have very strict rules when it comes to granny style of investing. So yeah, let's get right into it. I see people are trickling in. Yeah, I was just sitting and trying to figure out what was going on here. So do apologize for the delay and the confusion with that. So yeah, let's go right into the chart. I've got Twitter up here as well. So there's some guys posting some charts they want to see here. We'll go through that and do list them in the chat if you want me to take a look at anything else. So yeah, firstly, a nice little bump up here on PulseChain. Let's just cover these things. No real divergences to speak of except for the hidden bearish divergence down here for a continuation of the downtrend, but a little bit, we need some time to see what happens there, right? If we put on the line chart, this is called a sign of strength, right? We've retested this breakout zone and we're trading above it now, which is quite interesting to see. I think Bitcoin caught a little bit of a bid now, and I've seen people are requesting Ethereum or Link, excuse me, up 7% on the day. Don't know what really happened there, if there's news or anything. Let's just pumping off this nice little W that you have here. You can see the W there. And it's higher lows, so it's now actually broken out of this level up here. You can get a measured move. Let's just see where this measured move is taking Link. All the way to $7. So yeah, back to Pulse. It seems like everything is kind of catching a bit. It might actually be because of the dominance. So Bitcoin up 1% on the day, almost breaching 27. Oh yeah, so this looks pretty good, right? Bitcoin breaking out here. Let's see if there's any resistance. Yeah, so we're inside of the reload zone here, the short reload zone. You can see it getting rejected there at the 61.8. So the shorters will be stepping in here, building their positions. Hopefully they can get stopped out with some strength and we can actually break out with this 28,000 level. The Bitcoin dominance, yeah, it's not really rejecting, but some of the altcoins, including PulseChain, is catching a bid here as the Bitcoin dominance increases. And remember, when the Bitcoin dominance breaks out, the altcoins tend to suffer a little bit, but PulseChain catching a bid, sitting right exactly at the breakout point on the line chart. Hopefully we can actually break this level up here. That's still the target for this. We need to close above this breakout level. So yeah, let's see what the requests are. So it looks like this post tech is a friend.tech fork on Arbitrum. So we're not going to look at that, right? But maybe if you're interested in getting onto friend tech early on Arbitrum, if you're interested in that. 9mm Pro, we talked about this, right? I minted two of these coins, or two of these NFTs. They are going to be airdropping the 9mm token to holders of the NFT. They're also building a DEX, and they also have a pretty cool block explorer that I'm actually using, scan.9mm.pro. It's much better than the Pulse Scan that was built by the PulseChain team. I'm actually using it. I changed my MetaMask settings to that. Yeah, so I have two of them. So to sell half when one doubles. This 414, there's Pedro shared this. Let's look at the 414 for you guys. 200 liquidity, little bit of a nice retracement here. Generally, these things, as soon as they launch, what I've noticed is that the bots kind of buy these things up, and this is the bot selling as soon as they have like a 2x in the score, and they just get out pretty quickly. And another M, and now done a full retracement. Let's just switch the price to Pulse. 414, not quite sure what it is. We can probably check the Telegram size, but it's how old is this coin? It's made in the last 24 hours. 5k liquidity. So technically above the reload zone. If you were interested, you should have been getting these things down here. You had a nice little W there, and not the prettiest W. You got a breakout, and it's trading above the reload zone. So unfortunately, I can't get it here, right? And there's no real reason for us to go look at the RSI. It won't tell us much. You're slap bang right in no man's land. So that's 414. Let's see if there's anything interesting here. FOMO in TF. Let's look at this TF. 2.1k liquidity. Let's look at the daily chart first. So it's 3 days old. Not much to say. It's at all-time highs. Let's switch the price to Pulse. It won't be much different because the price of Pulse has been pretty steady the last few days. Yeah, just 69 TF or 69 Pulse per TF. So yeah, can't be interested up there. I need to wait for this to come down. Because we want cheap prices, right? There's no reason to be chasing this. I think I added, yeah, so there's a new iTropa contract that got deployed yesterday, so we'll take a look at that as well. If we look at the indicators, maybe we can see some divergences, maybe reversal, very high on the RSI, right? So yeah, I would like this to come down if I were to be interested in this at all, right? I think that's everything that we've looked at on Twitter. 414 we've looked at, 9mm. Okay, that's everything there. Moon, we talked about this yesterday, right? Moon and FBI, or not yesterday, the day before that, perhaps. Let's see what Moon is doing. Look at these extensions, right? We drew these extensions yesterday and look exactly where it found resistance. Right at that line. Peaked above it slowly, but now rejected. This is the 4-hourly. We can see how it's moving down. Oh yeah, let's just switch to Rapid Pulse quickly. Had a very nice run. But I can already tell we're in the no split section, not really in value just yet. It's coming down to that area. Let's look at the RSI quickly. Pretty high, right? Peaked out at 85.79, now breaking down. Let's look at where most of the volume was traded. Pretty sure it's down here inside of the reload zone. Yeah, just below the 78.6 level. So this is 0.0021 is where I would be interested to get some. And I would wait for higher lows before buying this. And maybe even the breakout level to be broken before going along with this. So yeah, Moon and nice run. Let's just quickly look at what's FBI been doing. Down 50%, so a nice rejection from the top. We looked at this yesterday right here, and we are below those prices now. It obviously went a little bit higher. Let's pull up the RSI. And before I do that, let's just switch the price to Pulse. It would pretty much look the same. The RSI. And we're probably going to see some nice divergences at the top there. So look at the top here. Price went lower, or indicator went lower, yes, price went higher. So at these stops, you could have been like, okay, it's a little bit scary up here. Maybe I should sell off and try and rebuy when this comes down. It's going to pop on the log chart so I can pull up the fib tool at the right levels. Yeah, so you're currently inside of the reload zone of FBI. Don't know if the founders are public, so just be just above the point of control. So most of the volume is traded in these areas. The RSI is pretty low, no divergences to speak of just yet. The 4 hourly, not really down as low as I would like it to be. Yeah, if the little old lady or the granny wanted to get some here, she could get a very small percentage in and expecting it to go lower a little bit more, right? She would need to have more on the sideline to at least get 3 buys into this coin, getting her average down. And yeah, selling half on a double when it does go up. So, but technically inside of the reload zone, slightly above the point of control. So I can't fault her if she wanted to get some here. And expecting it to go lower so she can load up a little bit more. So that was Moon and FBI. WBTC is pumping, I see. I do have buys in this coin. I mean, this is one of my earlier trades that got me a lot of attention because I literally tweeted it out here at the bottom when it broke out of the accumulation zone. So yeah, this is the area, and I should actually be selling half here because this is my double area. And hopefully it doesn't retrace while this episode is ongoing. So yeah, you've missed this boat. You can see the beautiful little W here. Let me draw it in for you guys. You see the W? And it's valid because these are lower highs. Now, unfortunately, it's not at the bottom of the range for us, so you can still trade this. I'll show you how a trader would trade this. So this is the breakout level, and at that level, you can maybe wait for it to retest this level. So it's going to take another day for you to get the confirmation, a retest of this level, and that is where they would enter their trade. So their buy order would be at this area here at 3.65 million. They will enter it here. They will risk 5%, or we should do a measured move first. This is how you measure it from the bottom to the top. This is your breakout level. So you can take your profits up there. And you get a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. You can see this 2.6 here. So I need to move the stop loss up or a bit lower to get your 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So you're going to risk 22% of your entry in this. So let's say you put in $10, you're going to risk 7.8. Sorry, you're going to risk $2.30. It's just an example, and you can pretty much make like 45% on this coin. So you're gonna make $4 if you put in $10 here. Just a nice round number for you guys to get an indication. And that's where the trader would exit this trade, right? This is not a granny style investment because it's left the building, right? But this is a valid trading pattern if you are a trader, right? You need to know what you're doing. So you can't put in you're not allowed to risk more than 5% on any trade, right? So you can't throw in your whole portfolio here and risking 22%. You need to shave it down a little bit so you don't lose more than 5%. That would mean like you're only allowed to risk like 20% of your portfolio. So that's divided by 5. 20 divided by 4 is 4%. There's your risk. I know that's a little bit complicated, but that's how trading works. And if you don't know how to do this, there's no reason for you to be looking at trading these things. Eh? So yeah, that's rat BTC. Doesn't mean you can't make money here. It is breaking out, technically breaking out of that trading pattern. This is the RSI down here. Now this is bearish divergences here, right? It's going down. Price is higher here. So it's probably from this area here. Actually, it's from here. So there isn't bearish divergence here. Oh, there is. It's going higher here. So the momentum is weak, right? So that's why I definitely should be selling my double here because I am up on a double here. So yeah, but once again, this bearish divergence can be nullified if this just continues to move higher. A little bit riskier. It's left at the station. If you've missed this as a granny, right? It's gone. This is the nosebleed section. Doesn't mean you can't take a trade, and it doesn't mean it can't go any higher. But a little bit risky for the granny over here. Bear running faster from the Itropa Moon Boy, thinking maybe it's the next shib. Okay, let's look at bear for you guys. I don't think it's broken its high versus pulse. This is like a double top forming up here. RSI is still trending downwards. If you put on the line chart, price higher, you'd indicator lower, but obviously this can pump and nullify the lower high on the RSI here, disqualifying the bearish divergence. But you need to defeat these highs up here if you want this to go higher, right? You need this to break out here because this is the opposite of what accumulation is. This is called distribution, right? But still, at the end of the day, this is not in value here. It has left the station. Nothing has changed since my last video, right? My last stream. Just as a granny, I can't be interested here. I might be wrong that this is the high here, but it doesn't matter, right? We have to wait for. I have to wait for a pullback. I don't know what your guys' strategy is. If you're cool with making a 50% or a 20% or a 10% move, that's fine. I just have a totally different strategy to what you guys are probably doing. We can look at Teddy or Bear versus Itropa for you. We can see which one is outperforming the other. Switch the price to Itropa. Put it on the daily. So yeah, this is Teddy Bear outperforming Itropa crazily, right? So you need to wait for this to come down before swapping to buying Itropa, right? Up here you want to be selling Teddy Bear for Itropa, and when it's down here you can swap your Itropa for Teddy Bear. Up here you're selling if you want to gain more Itropa. A little bit risky because this can continue outperforming Itropa. That would mean Itropa either needs to break down or Bear needs to continue going higher. So Bear is overvalued versus Itropa here. What's up, SwiftX? Rai. What's up? Can you take a look at Monad Money and Zex, please? Yeah, Monad is the new coin created by the Teddy deployer, the 412 guy. Created like, let's look at the daily. 2 days ago, so it's 2 days old. A little bit more than a day old. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. It's just up candles, right? So you can either FOMO in here and hope for the best, or maybe wait for a pullback, right? A 50% or a 61%. Catching a pretty hard bid. We're up 2,000% or so. I don't know if you want to chase it up here. But I know these coins, as soon as they launch, they can do pretty crazy things. Let's look at some of the top traders to see what they're doing. So there's people that are in quite hefty profits up here, 5K, 5.2K. We don't see their buys because it could be bots. It could be people sending it to other accounts. Generally, the bots sell from the same account that they bought at. So yeah, this guy bought like $75. He's up 1,000. So people are in profits here. So the initial profit taking might happen here. Just wait for a nice pullback if you want, or FOMO and risk getting left holding the bag up here. Interestingly enough, this is paired with Rapid BTC, this main pair, and it's outperforming Rapid BTC. So if you entered with a Rapid BTC, you'd be up nicely and maybe selling some back into Rapid BTC. This might be why Rapid BTC is getting a kind of a bid, right? As this liquidity is pulling it up, but I doubt it, as the Rapid BTC is a pretty thick liquidity pair. So yeah, Monad Money is blasting off right now. Yeah, so it's up to you and your risk profile if you want to FOMO it up in here. But just be prepared for this to pull back and maybe get some more. And that is where you just need to manage your risk, right? I bought up a week ago, low market cap. My freebies are running up as well. I think Tangent spoke about up recently. It's up 100% on the day. The largest liquidity pair is versus incentive token. A little bit of a rejection here. You can see the opposite of a W here. This is an M, right? And you can see when the market smiles at you like this, it wants to take your money. This is the opposite of a W. And if we invert this chart, we can just see that. Let's just remove the volume. So yeah, these are your higher lows, and this is your breakout level. The measured move on this, where it's already outperformed that. Doesn't mean it's finished. It could go lower. Just invert the scale back. Pull up the RSI, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see some divergences here. So not really divergences yet. Let's look at the 4-hourly. Was pretty high, right? Let's look where fair value for this is. No, I don't know if you guys want us to take a look at incentive token. Incentive token's been pretty stable, so the price chart will look pretty much the same. See where most of the volume was traded on this coin. Inside of the reload zone, right? This is the no speed section. It's left the station, right? We need to wait for this to come down a little bit, at least. Oh yeah, XEX, you said you wanted to take a look at XEX. Zexican, 1.4k liquidity, very low. It's probably this that you want me to take a look at. Let's look at Rapid Pulse. So yeah, it's inside of the reload zone, went all the way as low as the 88.6 level, so 88% down from the top. RSI is a little bit high here. You can see the W that's already broken out. I think it's probably already hit its target, but technically you can get some here. The granny can get some here because it's in a reload zone. But if we went to the shorter time frame, this most recent bump, because we want cheap prices, it's sitting at the 61.8. So yeah, it is pretty cheap. Not as cheap as I would have liked it. Maybe I would have wanted to get some down here. But I mean, you're still down 65%. So not a crazy discount, but pretty nice. I mean, there's not much to say. Very low liquidity, unfortunately, for something that's been trading this long. Maybe wait for the retest of this breakout level. It's already retested it with that previous candle. You got the breakout and then the retest. So that's a sign of strength as it's broken out. Not the worst chart that I've seen, not like blasting off. Thoughts on Chainlink? So just to go back to Chainlink, I mean, we can do a macro analysis on Chainlink. Forming pretty well today. Let's put it on the weekly chart. So let's take off the log. I mean, this is what you should be interested, right? This is what I'm trying to get in your guys' head. Like, we look for assets that are down. I'm just going to put this on the reload zone. That's inside of the reload zone, and that's valid. You don't have the best W just yet, as this was a new low down here, right? But you can see the W here, right? Hasn't broken out, so not confirmed just yet. Generally, the little lady would wait for a breakout level, the 8.6. You get your breakout and then a retracement like that. It looks something like this. So that would be perfect. So she would wait for this first initial impulse wave, then pull up her Fibonacci 2 and get it when it's confirmed that this W breakout. So, I mean, it's pretty cheap, right? It's beautiful down here. And look back here. It came all the way back to retest the previous breakout point. You've got these W's down here. Now, this was unfortunately not the most beautiful W. Get your higher lows down here. This is your breakout level. And don't be surprised if the market comes back and retests this breakout level. And look exactly what we did. Came down, retested this breakout level. Once again, this is a sign of strength. This has confirmed this little accumulation zone that happened in 2020 and 2019. Retested it. We can look for divergences. There are cool indicators on TradingView that do it for you. And there are two divergences that have been confirmed. The Willy and the MFI have both been confirmed. So you've got indicator confirmation. You've got the location because it was inside of the reload zone. And yeah, I mean, the granny investor is looking at charts like this. And once again, like I always say, the longer you move sideways in these areas, the more aggressive the move to the upside will be. But once again, the granny investor, she will put her percentage in here and she will wait for her double to be formed, right? 6.6, so her first double would be at 13.2, this area here. Very cheap still, right? Her second double at 26. Then 54, but still be below. So just above the, so she already has a free position in this coin, another double and another double. And then we can look at where this coin might be going in the future by doing an extension from the bottom to the top. And the deeper these things retrace, the more explosive the move to the upside will be. Let's put on the defaults. Don't be surprised if it goes all the way to $200 in the upcoming bull market. Because let me just show you that Bitcoin does this often. Okay, so we're above 27K now. So this is the same retracement I just did on Link. So we didn't get that high. We came all the way to the 3.6. Now, you would expect diminishing returns after a while, because Bitcoin has done so much gains in the future. Let's do the retracement on the 2015. And it went much higher, right? So these retracements are actually very, very conservative. But there's other ways of doing it. You can do it from the 2.36. I think this is probably much more. So from the 236 to the low, this gives your extension to actually 18K. Exactly, not exactly at the top, but this would have gotten you out pretty nicely. Good morning from Texas. Hope everyone is well. Yeah, everything is going well this side as well. So yeah, let's look at Fame for you. Fame launched 2 or 3 days ago. Most of the liquidity, I know this looks scary, most of the liquidity was added on PHUX because it's the creators of PHUX. But someone went ahead, minted their coins, and listed it very high, right, at $36, in the hopes that someone might buy it up there. But he lost a lot because people sold it down from there, took their profits. I don't know how thick the liquidity was. Maybe it wasn't that much. But there's not much to say here. I already sold half on a double because I sacrificed Pulse and I was up like 2.3x on it, and I initially just sold my at 85, this area here. Now it's retraced quite nicely already. It looks like it's found its floor down here. The protocol isn't live, so I'm up like 40%. I'm gonna wait once again for the 61. Doesn't mean it has to get there, right? But hopefully it gets all the way to 36, and that's where I'll step in again and put in half of what I sold. That's part of the granny style. She can rebuy what she sold, but only half of that position which she sold. So she still has that 50% PLS profits. So yeah, I'm waiting for this to get all the way to 36. Doesn't mean it has to get there. I have a free position in this coin, so literally it's just sitting there. And if it goes higher in the bull market, I'll sell more. But I have a free position, risk-free in this trade, and I got my pulse back that I initially sacrificed for this. The protocol's not live just yet, where you can short and long these things. Yeah, but then we can actually trade these things. So we can put up trade setups, trade Ws, like I showed you previously. So that was Chainlink. What is a good ink token entry? I would just farm it. And the way I'm farming it is I also have a PHUX pool. So let me see if I can pull it up here. The RH Maxi pool, and 5% of that pool is in the incentive token. So I'm compounding my gains from my PHUX pool and my PulseX pool into, because I'm farming Pulse and PulseX pool on PulseX. It's a lot of PulseXs, but I hope you get what I'm saying. And then compounding it into the RH Maxi pool. And you can see the RH Maxi pool is Wrap Pulse. 40% of this pool is Wrap Pulse, 25% is PulseX, 20% of PX, 10% of Wrapped X, that is the X that comes from Ethereum, and 5% incentive token. So 5% of this pool is sitting in incentive token. So I have a little bit of exposure to incentive token, but all of my incentive farmed from PulseX is going into this pool. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not telling you what to do, but I personally won't be buying incentive token myself. Unless we start creating higher lows on this chart. We create a nice little W. So let's just see what's going on here. So what I'm talking about is something like this. And you hold the bottom, and this is a valid trade, right? You can take a long here. If it breaks above this level and confirms it, retest it, and continues higher. So let me just show you a trade, what the trade would look like here. Or you can just get it and sell off on a double like a little old lady would. And then you've got a free position in this coin anyway. Now, trading is exceptionally dangerous. If you don't know what you're doing, you're playing with fire. So there's our measured move to 1.3. And then we just adjust this to a 2 to 1 risk to reward ratios. You're risking, or you're gonna gain 2x what you're risking in this coin. And that is what trading is all about. It's literally just making sure that if you win your trade, you're winning double than what you're risking. This bottom, the 1.03, is where you would have your stop loss. Now, we don't have stop losses on decentralized exchanges just yet. You would need to wait for a FAME fork, which we are getting, to have a stop loss. But this is where you would exit your trade and you would be wrong if the price goes below that price. Or you can do granny style where you just sit on this anyway. You risk a very small percentage, and if you're wrong, it's fine. It just goes lower. Because the granny investor, if she enters a coin, she's willing to have that small percentage that she put in go to zero. But you have bullish divergences. These are higher lows on the RSI. And let me just show you guys. You've got higher lows on the RSI. Yet the price was going lower. So that is bullish divergence, and it's actually been confirmed now. Is it confirmed? It needs to break and hold above this level here. So not really. We broke above it and came down again. So there is a little bit of strength here, and we can see this $1 floor holding, right? And I've said this before in the past. People are going to need to get this if they want to participate in the better farms. I mean, on the weekly, RSI is at 3.9. So if this ever does get a bid, it's got an immense amount of upside. Yeah, and hopefully there's more to come on this thing. So no real bullish candles just yet. That's a Darth Maul candle. Wheat Pulse. For top trader Tad, I noticed we can't see their buys because they bought on V1 and sold sell on V2. It could be that. Could be that. Dewey Scum says, what's up? Awesome. I finally catch you live. Blessings be to you all. Thank you for these videos. I've learned so much from everyone in this wonderful community. I'm glad that you found this helpful, dude. Dude or lady. We've looked at Fame. Let's look at WePulse. We did look at it or the day before yesterday. Up 20% on the day. So yeah, like I said yesterday, you've got your higher lows. You're testing the breakout level here. So like I said the other day, this looks pretty good, right? 14k liquidity, not bad. Okay, let's just go back to Rapid Pulse. So a little bit different this chart. The breakout level is up here. We're about to confirm the breakout on the USD pair. I mean, that's picture perfect. I mean, you're in location, which is, if you're in the reload zone, right? We're just above the 78.6 level. You have market structure, which is your higher lows. And if you're about to set a higher high, so that would be an indication that the trend has changed. You've broken the downtrends. You've got a W the other side of the downtrend. So let's look for indicator confirmation, which would be divergences. Nothing really there. If you put on the line chart, 36, 37, 36, so no bullish divergences. So you don't really have indicator confirmation just yet. And on the Rapid Pulse pair, we don't have a breakout just yet. But I mean, if the little old lady wanted to risk a little bit of a percentage of her portfolio, of her trading portfolio here, I wouldn't falter for doing that. But she should be prepared for this to go lower and to get some more, because the point of control is down here. Let's maybe put on the on balance volume. This just shows the difference between the buying and the selling volume. And people are still interested in this as it's going. There's hidden bullish divergence here if we put on the line chart. And it's one of the better looking charts, and the retail won't think that this is a pretty chart, but I do because it's done a nice retracement. It's on inside of the reload zone. The indicators are nice and low. Could be lower. Yeah, it's not gonna like moon now. It might have a little bit of a pump, maybe get you a double, and then move sideways a little bit more. Not the worst chart, I must say. I would love to take a look at a few coins myself to see if that's cool. Algo is an interesting down function. I know what Algo is, and it's tied to Hex. Also curious about the Spark swap chart. Okay, cool. Let's look at Algo. I haven't even looked at this chart. So 1.4k liquidity. This is the USD pair. You can see a nice little higher lows forming here. Let's look at it versus Hex, because you had to put in Hex in this protocol, right? It's the weekly chart. The daily chart made a new low. And this is probably where we should be looking at this, because people are trading this versus Hex, I suspect. There was bullish divergences here. As the price went lower, the indicator went higher. It's actually been confirmed. You got a nice little pump off that. Already quite high. It's definitely cheap versus Hex. This is a new low. I mean, there's no real higher lows to speak of just yet. The trend hasn't changed because these are still lower highs. This high was probably equal, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. I would swap my Hex for it down here a little bit and expecting it to go lower. It unfortunately made a new low here. The RSI is pretty high, but you've got indicator confirmation. I mean, swapping some Hex for it down here would not actually, or would actually be a pretty good buy, I think. And then that would actually set you up for nice little higher low, maybe something like that, and off you go. I don't know if it's going to outperform Hex or if the mechanism is, because I remember looking at this, because there's another coin that when it's oversold versus Hex, can't remember the mechanism, but it's supposed to be held pretty closely to Hex. But it's underperformed Hex. I would need to go look back at the contract. Glad you liked it, Tech Dude. I know these are Dewey says she hasn't found, or I've not found anyone who shares these kinds of things, teachings. I appreciate it. Is a little bit of technical, so I won't get like the crazy amount of viewers, but there's a lot to learn here. Good call on selling a double on Fame, yeah. I knew it was going to be at least up 2x, because the Fame dudes like their charts to look pretty. Unfortunately, they've got that massive red wick, but we know what it's all about. Also, Hedron went below the all-time low versus Rapid Pulse. How much lower do you think it could go? You can do extensions on charts to give you an idea of where it might go, but it's pretty hard. So from the low to the top, 7 zeros and a 9 is your if it continues going lower here. So you're gonna lose another 0. So that is the Fibonacci extension, your first target. There's more targets below as well, but let's hope it doesn't do that. But this is versus USDC. Do you want to look at it versus Rapid Pulse? Let's look at it versus Rapid Pulse for you. Switch the price to Rapid Pulse. A new low here. So yeah, we can do the extension from the previous impulse. So yeah, 2 zeros and a 3 would be your first target, the golden ratio to your downside. Yeah, you've lost the lows, unfortunately. Let's pull up the indicators and see what they're telling us. Getting pretty oversold here, right? No divergences yet. So you would wait for maybe a little bounce here, retest the downside, go lower. Maybe then it goes higher and you get a higher low on the RSI. That would give you a higher RSI, but a lower price. That would be a strong bullish divergence and enough for a reversal. But until then, we don't know where this is going to stop. You're going to get some support at this 00307 area. Let's see if we get that low. But that sucks, right? Looking at stuff that just continues to bleed. But if the granny got some up here, somewhere up here, anywhere here, she just needs to wait, right? And if she managed the risk and not put in her whole portfolio in this, maybe risked a single digit percentage, she's fine with just sitting on her hands, because eventually this will catch a bit and maybe break even or even give her a double. And that would be her sell. And then she's got a free position and she got her pulse back. And she'd be pretty happy with that, I would expect, because she risked very little and she got her money back and a free position. Was waiting for you on the other link. Yeah, let's look at the other link for you guys. So this hasn't really caught a bit on our PulseChain side. I mean, look at this beautiful W that we did form here. And when we broke out, you probably got your measured move. Oh no, this is probably not hit its target. But this has now come down to retest the breakout level, and it's found support. So this is called a sign of strength. And like I said, you can either wait for the breakout or the retest. And this is the retest now, the retest of the breakout level. So some little grannies will actually wait for this signal right here to go long. The RSI is pretty high, and this is bearish here. Price going a lot lower, right? Yet the indicators are higher. So we would have to wait for this to consolidate a little bit more for this RSI to come lower. And I would be really surprised if we continue holding this breakout level. Let's just switch to Rapid Pulse and look at what it's doing there. Yeah, the same story pretty much. It's showing a little bit more strength versus Rapid Pulse because it hasn't retested the breakout level just yet. Let's pull up the RSI. Also bearish divergences here as price is going lower. Let's see, I think he came all the way back to the 50%. Just put on the 50% from the highs there. Just short of the 50% before it got rejected. But on the shorter time frame, what are we still in the reload zone? So yeah, we're retesting the reload zone here. So a little bit too high. Let's look at the shorter time frames. It's not cheap at the shorter time frames. We would have wanted it in the reload zone, right? Which is the 61.8 here. Left the boat a little bit, or left the train station here already a little bit. The Dow has been buying up HICS, and it's currently got 18 million HICS on the The Halgo treasury. Okay. Halgo also has a farm like Spark Swap. You said you wanted to me to look at Spark for you. I remember taking a look at this, and it looked a lot to me like the incentive token. Switch to Wrapped Pulse. And I said I expected to go a little bit more lower, right? So I think we've bounced off that level and continuing the downtrend here. But this is the equivalent of the incentive token. So I won't be surprised if we come down to retest these very lower levels. We have a low here, but no higher low established just yet. I'm talking about this, right? So it needs to hold here pretty soon for it to create a higher low. It doesn't look like it wants to slow down anytime soon. 4 hourly getting pretty oversold. No real bullish divergences to speak of. Even on the 1 hourly, it's still continuing down. So hope and pray that it holds down here for you to create nice market structure. Otherwise, it's going to come a lot lower. We can do volume traded. This isn't going to give us the best range. No, because the point of control is up here and we're already below it. So there's currently bullish divergence forming, but I don't expect this to hold up here. It looks pretty weak. There's no relief just yet. But the granny, it's inside of the reload zone. If she wanted to get some, but expecting it to go lower, right, she can get some here. And buy some more at the 78 and the 88% down from the top. But this is the incentive token. A lot of inflation is coming out, and the professional liquidity farmers, that is what they do. They sell these reward tokens for other coins. And Wrap Pulse continuing to catch a bit here. I see PLD and SHIB are popping off a bit. I also like B roots, and I'm looking at T-Trapped. I'll go, okay. PLD, that's so this is the original Pulse Doge. Yeah. I haven't looked at this for a while. Oh, this is nice little W down here. Come down all the way. Let's look at Wrapped Pulse. So, but this is the... So we don't really have all of the data. But it's technically a new low. It's not the end of the world. It's just the bad thing is that I don't have my fib area to pull it off from. Let's just remove the volume. I mean, all we can do is pretty much look at these levels and say it's bounced off its bottom, right? Lingering a little bit of no man's land here. RSI didn't make a new high, so there's no real bearish divergences. All I can do is wait for it, and it's already bounced off the 61.8, so I would have had a buy here if I was looking at this. If you come down, you're not buying the top of Pulse Doge. Just apply the defaults here. Yeah, I would wait for this to get a little bit lower because the RSI is pretty high already. Maybe just wait for these lower areas. Or you can go the conservative route and just wait for this to create higher lows and break out of this. It would still be a good place to take this trade. You know, you at 80 you would still have your double up here. And there's still more room to the upside. But not the clearest chart. Very hard to really say. You said SHIB. SHIB is on my watch list. I mean, perfect market structure down here. You've got your higher lows all the way up. It's picture perfect. And your breakout level here, let's just switch to rapid pulse. And pretty much has left the station here, right? This is the nosebleed section. This measured move has probably already played out. So the W breakout from the low to the breakout level, getting close to the target being hit up here. RSI is pretty high. You've got bearish divergences from the top here. So it's a little bit late, right? I mean, the ideal place to have gotten long was this breakout down here, because you had your higher lows. Was this higher lows? Yeah. You had your higher lows here. This was your indication to go long. Then we created another W up here with higher lows, breakout level up there. So it gave you a lot of chance to get in, but it's kind of left value already now. Just unfortunately have to have this go. We can look at resistance levels from the top. Getting close to the opposite of the long reload zone. This is the short reload zone. This is where traders will take their shorts. We'll color that red. You can't really see it. Let's make it a brighter color. Yeah, so that is where they take the shorts. So a little bit riskier. You're betting against the professionals here, where they'll be taking their profits up there. You can stake Spark and earn pulse in fees. What would that change your analysis at all? No. It's like a single-sided staking mechanism. But fundamentally, don't really worry too much about fundamentals. Like, I just trade these things. Fundamental story is generally just not good marketing. But the chart will tell you a much more better story. But it doesn't mean Spark doesn't turn around. Eventually, it will catch a bid if it continues having people talk about it. Effortless asks if MV will recover. We should probably take a look at it, because I don't know what things to put in there. I mean, this guy is creating new coins daily, right? This is MV here. 6K liquidity. I mean, just moving sideways here. You've got a higher low. I know this range, some of you guys went long back here the last time we talked about this. It's now dipped below that level. Switch to Rapid Pulse and see if the indicators tell us anything. I mean, it's the indicators are just moving sideways here. And it will recover as soon as you start making your higher lows and you break out to this level here. This is why it's kind of risky to catch a falling knife. The better thing to do would be to wait for your breakout, your higher high to be set, and then maybe a retest. This is the best place to go long up here, is when you retest this breakout point and confirms it. Confirms is just you print a new candle and it holds that area. I don't know if it's going to recover. It has a mint function. And that is why I risked a very small percentage on this in this area up here, because I was willing for that to go to 0 up here. Just close a bit of tabs here because it's getting laggy. So hopefully MV does recover there. Looks like Teddy is coming back slowly. Yeah, Teddy needs to defeat that higher high if it wants to go higher. Thank you for Spark Swap. It has an interesting revenue share mechanism that's locked up Spark, and they have a dope community with a long view. Yeah, there's a few times that people have actually come in here and requested that, and there's some tokens that don't get requested at all. They have plans to change it to a deflationary model, and we will see that in the chart when that does. And yeah, I think we're getting to the end of this. So there's a new coin that actually launched, Teddy, that this guy followed me, Bear Hug coin. So it launched like 2 hours ago. And I expect this was probably bots that bought it up here. So I actually put in like $5 in this coin. Just search Teddy. Maybe it's a play off the name from Teddy Bear, because the ticker for Teddy Bear is Bear, and this is Teddy Bear Hug token. So yeah, I put like $5 in this down here when it launched somewhere here. So I was like underwater already here. And it was such a small little bet that maybe it just goes. Yeah, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're interested. If you want to join our chats and where I put in the things that I buy, check out the link in the description down below. I think we've covered pretty much everything that is interesting today. So I'm just glad we have a little bit of nice green candles on the chart. This will bring out people to speculate again. Last one to take a look at is Kek, the token that I founded. Let's just swap to Raft Pulse quickly. Yeah, unfortunately, we're still above the reload zone. We're moving sideways in this area, frustratingly enough, because I wanted to get some more down here. The indicators don't look bad. We're below the 50% and still holding these levels up here. I'm very, very surprised that we're holding these levels. I would have thought that we'd come back to retest these breakout levels back here, because this was your breakout level and your retest there, and it just went. So yeah, do check it out if you're interested in that. Unfortunately for the granny, it's just slightly a little bit too high. Maybe just wait for it to come down. But we do have these higher lows down here. See, these lows are higher. So hopefully this uptrend holds. And if it breaks down, I'll get some more down here at these levels. Yeah, so a little bit overvalued for the granny. But you've had a nice little pullback already. I think it's like down 60%, so 55%. But this has been trading for like since the launch of PulseChain. So yeah, I'm gonna continue talking about this coin. This is my baby. So yeah, you're not buying the top at least, as some of these other coins are taking up. I know there was quickly a Beats request in there as well. Just chilling below these levels down here. It's not the top, right? You're getting it at the lows. The RSI has never been this low, so this is a hidden bullish divergence as RSI is higher. Excuse me, RSI is lower, yet the price is higher, but generally not enough to reverse the price. And they've got a great product, an anonymous bridge, so you can bridge from Ethereum to PulseChain without doxing your wallet. Or you can make a new wallet and it won't show that you've sent from one of your main wallets. So yeah, so there is a little bit of anonymity in that, which I think is really cool. And I think with that, we're going to close off this video. So yeah, always play from a position of strength. Your position of strength is 60 to 70% down from the top, right? This is where we should be interested. And don't get wrecked, right? And that means not risking your whole portfolio on a single one idea. Your main holdings should be either staked in Hex or sitting Pulse liquid in your hardware wallet. Please get a hardware wallet. I think there is a ledger link in the description down below. I still use my ledger after the controversies about being able to extract your keys, but if you get to the older version, that version doesn't have enough memory for them to store your for the protocol anyway, what it's called. So yeah, I still think the older ledger is fine to use. So yeah, you can use the Trezor as well. I still use it. I've got both. Like I accumulate hardware wallets because it's cool. So with it, yeah, please be safe out there. if you're clicking on links, be extra careful. Save your bookmarks at the top of your dashboard in your Chrome, so you don't, or memorize it so you don't click on wrong links. Don't go searching on Google. Don't click on sponsored links. Please, guys, be safe out there. Get your hardware wallet, store your major holdings, 90 to 95% of your coins, like Hex or Pulse, liquid or staked. Yeah, just be safe out there and make a whole new wallet, like a hot wallet, where you trade on, right? Don't have everything in that trading wallet. Keep it separate so you don't get wrecked, okay? Thanks for watching, and we will end the stream there. You can, yes, you can. The hardware wallets connect through MetaMask or Rabby wallet or IM, some, what's that, internet money. Yeah, so then you just connect your MetaMask wallet through, or your hardware wallet through your MetaMask. You'll see there's an import hardware wallet. Do I have a, just go over here. Always do it on Twitter if you need to look for the privacy. betrue.world. Here you go. And you can see with the amount of followers they have that this is them. betrue.world. And this is the website looks like this. Privacy bridge over here. And read through this. I haven't read through it myself, but there's the privacy bridge. So yeah, from Ethereum, you can send it to PulseChain, and you can make a new wallet on PulseChain, and from your main wallet on Ethereum, send through to PulseChain, and it won't show those your original wallet. So there's definitely some cool privacy here. There's also, if they ban the PulseChain bridge, like the FUD that's been going around, you can always exit from PulseChain to Ethereum here, right? From PulseChain to Ethereum and create a whole new wallet. So yeah, there's a little bit of alpha for you guys. Can you check out the role, a Sugar Beach project that have been working behind the roles? Can you check out their role in IMK? Much appreciated, as always. Okay, I'm going to end that there. I'm not quite sure, Dewey Scum, what you mean. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. There is a fee. I'm not sure how steep the fee is. All right. Cheers for now, and bye-bye, guys.